One of my TikToks has blown up massively for asking one simple question. Will we ever see Mega Evolution again in a main series Pokemon game? In this particular TikTok, I used some footage that I found whilst I was roaming around in Pokemon Scarlet, and I saw this. The video shows what seems to be shooting stars flying across the night sky. It's beautiful. However, they're only showing shooting stars, so we shouldn't really look too far into it, right? Right? Well, like many Pokemon fans, I love a good Pokemon theory, so let's talk about it. You see, I propose that these shooting stars might not be what we all think they really are. What if they are Mega Stones? Pokemon X and Y, the 6th generation of Pokemon games, we are introduced to what is known as Mega Evolution. Now, I can only assume that the vast majority of you know what Mega Evolution is, but for those who don't, I'll quickly explain. Mega Evolution is a strange phenomenon in which a trainer can evolve specific Pokemon to an even greater level through greater bonds with their Pokemon and the mystic powers of these magical stones. These are what are known as Mega Stones. Throughout the 6th generation of Pokemon, we learned that the Mega Stones were actually normal evolutionary stones, like water, fire, leaf, all of those sort of stones. They were irradiated by Xerneas and Yveltal respectively. As we know, these two legendary Pokemon were both crucial to the firing of the ultimate weapon. The ultimate weapon is a lethal weapon created by a man named AZ. A-Z. Area Zero. I digress. AZ wanted to use the ultimate weapon to seek revenge on those who he thought killed his beloved Floette. In the end, he uses the weapon to end the Great Pokemon War. Who was involved in this war? That's probably a topic for a separate video, so if you like the sound of me exploring different theories in the Pokemon lore, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, do whatever you need to do. Anyway, the reason I bring the ultimate weapon into the equation is due to it being over 3,000 years prior to the events of Pokemon X and Y. It actually spewed what we know as Megastones all across the Pokemon globe. This has caused the Megastones to reach far away regions, including the Hoenn region. Unlike the original games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire implemented the same concept of Mega Evolution. Many Pokemon within the Hoenn region were given Megas due to the strange stones appearing almost out of nowhere. Before I go any further, I just want to talk about the responses that I received for my TikTok. It was a mixture of hope and people just debunking my theory. One of the counter arguments to the theory was that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet take place in a completely different timeline to that of Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Now, that is an extremely fair point. But let's talk about it. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire introduced to us the multiverse. Yeah, even Pokemon has a multiverse. It's a trend. Key events such as the use of the ultimate weapon didn't happen in some timelines, resulting in the Megastones never being spread across the globe. X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire all take place within the same universe/timeline. All previous games take part in different universe where the ultimate weapon wasn't used at all. Games introduced after X and Y and Auras take place in their own universe too. This is a good excuse for Game Freak to, implement new gimmicks each game that they release. Sort of like a retcon. Now, this is actually very, very interesting to me, so hear me out. Yes, the multiverse is real in the Pokemon world, as shown to us in Auras, and future games like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. But let me pick your mind for a minute. The ultimate weapon was never used in these timelines, yes, but that doesn't mean that the Megastones were not created. The ultimate weapon spread the stones across the Pokemon world, but because it wasn't used, does that mean that the stones are simply kept in Kalos? It's definitely something to think about. So hypothetically, we could say that the stones do exist in the same timeline as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but are just located solely in Kalos. So with all that in mind, I want to show you a map of the world. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Paldea region is based on real-world Spain. Now, for those of you who don't know, real-world Spain borders another huge country. That country being France. It just so happens that another region is based on real-world France. Any guesses to what region I could be alluding to? Well, if you said Kalos is based on real-world France, you would be 100% correct. So with Paldea bordering Kalos, isn't it somewhat possible that Megastones are obtainable in this timeline? Well, that's whether or not you choose to believe that Megastones do exist, they just weren't spread across the globe because the ultimate weapon was never used. It's completely up to you how you want to interpret it, but I'm doing it this way because I want to believe. Please, Game Freak, give us those sweet, sweet Megas back. The only problem I can think of when it comes to that theory is that Mega Evolution doesn't seem to be mentioned anywhere in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. With the logic that Paldea and Kalos border each other, you would think that at least someone would either mention it throughout your journey, or just straight up use it in battle. However, to my knowledge, not a single person, NPC, actual character in the game mentions Mega Evolution at all. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that those shooting stars that we saw in the night sky in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are Mega Stones. But I do want to make you think about the possibility of it being Mega Stones. With rumours of Scarlet and Violet's DLC taking us back to Kalos, wouldn't it be a perfect opportunity to revisit the best gimmick we have ever been introduced to? One more thing that has actually come to my attention whilst making this video is the theory that these shooting stars could be wishing stars. As we've established, Paldea and Kalos border each other. With that in mind, another region that is extremely close to both of these regions is the Galar region. Galar is based on real-world Britain, and if we take another look at the world map, we can see that Britain is extremely close to Kalos. I like this theory. I feel as if it makes just as much sense as the Mega Stones. However, I personally prefer the Mega Stone argument over the Dynamax/Gigantamax wishing star thing. In my opinion, both these theories have the same level of likelihood, but who truly knows what's going over at Game Freak? They have minds of their own. Let them do what they gotta do. Mega Stones, Wishing Stones, Shooting Stars. All three are very, very possible, in my opinion. Only time will tell what is the correct answer. Well, that's just about it. Thank you all very much for sticking around and watching the video this far. I really do appreciate it. If you have got this far, why not hit the like button and subscribe for some more content like this. I don't know why I was doing that. Be sure to leave a comment whether you do want to see more content like this, or just in general what you want to see. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!